speaking about injuries and teams and poor play, we're going to move on to the last two teams in the American East. And we're going to start off with the Boston Red Sox. Now, the Boston Red Sox were a team that I wanted to monitor going forward because they have a lot of young talent. And we actually discussed this last week with regards to whether or not they have a leader in that clubhouse, whether or not they're going to be able to rally around a specific player who's going to lead them to a winning record. Right now, it seems like they're still struggling to find an identity. Now, for the good news for the Boston Red Sox, you'd have actually not a terrible pitching rotation so far and bullpen. Now, Ranger Suarez has come down a little bit after his not so good start. 3.22 ERA with 15 strikeouts over 22 innings. Not very good, but he's kept his walk rate low at 6 over 22 innings. Sonny Gray, one of your offseason acquisitions, has pitched okay, not great, but okay. His strikeout rate is very, very low. He's only got 11 strikeouts over 20 innings.
That's surprising. I mean, he's normally not a strikeout artist, but he gets his Ks. He usually finishes the season around close to 200 most years, right?
Definitely. He actually is much more efficient than this in the season. You do have Connolly Early, one of the top pitching prospects for this team. He's come out and pitched relatively good. 2.29 ERA over the first 4 games he started. They have kept his workload relatively light. Only 19.2 innings pitched. Has 20 strikeouts, though, and does have 10 walks. So maybe a little bit here or there touching up his control, his arsenal, but might have a nice little ace. That's also very good for them because Garrett Crochet has struggled through the first 4 games of this.
It's mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling. He has been, I don't know exactly what's happening with him. I don't know if his mechanics were thrown off during the offseason, but he has a 7.58 ERA with 19 innings pitched. He's given up 16 earned runs, which is astronomical for him. He does have 22 strikeouts. He does have 7 walks, but he's hit 4 batters, which leads the major leagues throughout the first 20 games or 19 games, depending on how many games your team has played. It's shocking to me that he has essentially struggled right out the gate because this was a guy that a lot of people picked up in their fantasy drafts. First overall.
Oh, he would have been the top three for sure. I mean, Skubal, Skeens, and Crochet in most drafts, I think, would be the third, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He would have easily been, the third pitcher off the board. So a lot of people are waiting and seeing, can he turn it around for late April? Can he turn it around for May? What's going to happen if he can't turn it around? Do I have to trade him? Do I have to bench him? That's the concerning thing. Now, if you did get a Aroldis Chapman later on down the line, you're happy about that because he has a 1.29 ERA. He does have 7 strikeouts over 7 innings, but so he's on a good clip so far. Now, with regards to the lineup, that lineup is a lot to be desired, unfortunately. That lineup has not been hitting consistently at all. Marcelo Mayer, one of their top prospects, or at least was one of their top prospects a year or two ago, finally getting some reps at second base, third base, so on and so forth. He's only hitting 176 and has an OPS at 553. He does have a home run, but he is not really getting on base. His OBP is at a low 259. And some players on that team are even worse than that. Trevor Story, he's just around that Mendoza line. And for those not familiar, that's about the 200 mark, but he has a 212 on base percentage. So he's not getting walks at all outside of getting hits. Carlos Narvaez, 214 on base percentage. Caleb Durbin, one of their pickups from a trade in this offseason.
Yeah.
231 on base percentage.
He came from Milwaukee, right? Durbin
came from Milwaukee. Yep. Came from Milwaukee.
And he was, Milwaukee was really, he was highly touted for quite some time.
He went from New York to Milwaukee, now to Boston, and now he's not playing well at all. Jarren Duran, he is struggling to hit the ball consistently, 172 batting average. The only real player that you could, actually 2 players that you could really pin success on so far this year, number one, that's going to be Wilyer Abreu, who has a 314 batting average and an 889 OPS, 3 home runs.
Yeah, he's been struggling the last week or so as well.
Yes. Now, it could be a blip, might be something indicative of something larger,
Well,
but we'll see.
I think William Abreu is absolutely a starting right fielder or a
Yep.
starting outfielder in MLB. And I don't know what Breslow and the front office are doing there with 5 outfielders.
Yeah.
Like something has to give because all 5 of those guys could absolutely start on pretty well any MLB team.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their needs. One of those guys has to go.
Yeah.
One of them has to go. And it's just a matter of deciding. And I've heard that like Abreu might be the one on the block. Why would they ever want to get rid of Wilyer Abreu? And he's the only catalyst in their lineup right now.
Absolutely.
They're not going to get rid of Anthony.
Yeah.
There's no way they're getting rid of Anthony. It looks like they're not getting rid of Duran. And then Yoshida, they want to have him around. I'm not sure why. And Abreu is the one whose name gets floated around.
Yeah.
So it would seem to me that Yoshida should be the one on the block. And I would think quite a few teams would be very interested in Yoshida. Now, I'm not sure of the dynamics of his contract, but if they want to start a youth movement in Boston, it should start with Wilyer Abreu along with Roman Anthony. You know, it should not be a matter of hanging on to players like Yoshida in the outfield, right?
Yeah, definitely. Again, the only reason why I would see this team trading Wilyer Abreu is if they know that this season's already lost, which is very early to even say that, number one.
Right.
And number two, that might be the player you get the best value for. 27 years old, still has a lot of team control, but that would it's essentially indicate that the Red Sox are out, not just for 2026, but beyond that, because Wilyer Abreu is a player that you can build around.
Absolutely.
You can build a franchise around him. And,
we'll take
have
him.
to wait and see.
We'd love to have him in Toronto.
We'll see. We'll see what happens later down the line when we get near the trade deadline. But I agree, Yoshida, he is an outfielder, but they've mainly pegged him as a DH because there were concerns about whether or not his arm was strong enough to make throws from the outfield, whether or not he was able to learn the outfield relatively quickly enough, or whether he would fit into that ballpark.
Right. And Rafaela was a Gold Glove center fielder last year, but is a Gold Glove enough to retain a player in today's MLB? I don't know if it is. A lot of guys have won Gold Gloves, and then the very next year, somehow they've lost their position, right?
Yeah.
Like Mason Wynn being one in St. Louis. He won a Gold Glove last year, was phenomenal defensively, and now J.J. Weatherall is the shortstop of the future in St. Louis. So you would think that, some service time and a Gold Glove would allow for a guy to hang around, but that doesn't necessarily seem to be the case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll move Rafaela. Maybe they'll move him and perhaps put or keep Duran in center field. I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to get rid of Duran either. And a lot of that has to do with the off-field stuff, which isn't his fault, but it's still baggage that other MLB teams probably would not want to have, coming onto their organization.
Yeah, definitely. And again, unfortunately, a couple of years ago, a Gold Glove might buy you some time on a lot of major league teams. Unfortunately, in this day and age, not really.
No.
You either have to get on base or hit home runs. I mean, look at the case of Joey Gallo a couple of years ago with the Yankees. The reason why they kept him around so long was because he had a good glove in the outfield. He was a Gold Glove winner, and he was able to hit home runs. Problem was that when the New York media started hammering him because he was not able to hit very well, and then his numbers started going down, he fell apart. And then that Gold Glove was not enough, and then they ended up shipping him off to the Dodgers, and then he essentially retired from the league. So
Harrison Bader as well. He's a Gold Glove center fielder, and he's been a journeyman throughout his. Good player, but it doesn't seem like any team really wants to commit to him long term.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case, and we'll have to see what happens with the Red Sox. But someone's going to go off that team during the trade deadline. I don't think it's going to be Wilyer Abreu. If it is, I will be shocked, and that tells me that the Red Sox are out.
Yeah, for sure.